we were talking about this as well. How Summer Sylvain could be a possible user for Plegian Torch. I will say you'll probably want to go for plus speed in this case, but you have done a great job of pushing back on that with the attack speed push. This is a dead Lysithea. Brave Lysithea dying for every mage in Patrines for a while now. And the Raz attack defense, he comes with that, so that's pretty good. Mystic Boost is nice to counteract the attack speed push. Would you go Mystic Boost? I think Attack Smoke might be more fun.
Attack Smoke would help Plegian Torch activate more frequently.
Also not Lysithea. Dead Winter Burnie.
Winter Burnie? Oh, that's even worse. Lysithea is easier to get than Winter Burnie. I hope it's bad IVs.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense, because if you have Layla as a hero that's enabling all the debuffs for Sylvain, then he's perfectly good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Layla with the Plegian weapons in general is just outright unfair.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're not doing Swissboro 3. Oh, actually, no, never mind, that's fine. Attack speed push makes more sense because after the attack -7, he's just fully enabled. 19 extra defense, essentially. Okay. Yeah, no, that's really good, because with the Rouse attack defense, it's 35, and then with the -7 from Layla, it's another 19, so that hits 54. 54 defense is kind of ridiculous. His res isn't even bad in that case, because it's 36. That's really good. That's a really good combination. But again, when we talked about Plegian Heroes, it was mostly about their support allies. Their allies are what makes them really, really good, and yeah, that's a good pairing. Really quickly, your damage output, because it's with Layla, so it is what, 6? 5, 6, 6, 17? 24? 27? 27, 33? 83 damage Sylvain. Nice, that's not right. Rekid, already with the +8 Raphael. 40 +8 +3. Hey, you're not max. I thought you were maxing him out first day. And he said Mimesis. Okay. So unfortunately this guy only has a super boon in attack, I believe. So from the 42 attack it becomes 46, which is among the highest in the game.
Is that really unfortunate though?
It's not. It's just I think if you patch up his res, he would actually be like a really good super tank. Instead, he's like a really good physical tank, really good attack. Hell, if he even had plus speed as an option, I think some people would have even done that.
Well, I mean, you mentioned patching up his res. I think the weapon manages that just fine.
Well, you better drop the attack smoke on them. The first hit will still hurt a lot.
That's what chills are for.
Yeah. Well, it's a coin flip then, because everything has to work out. You can't. He could find himself dead to a mage, is what my worries are. But you're right. If you drop 7 attack on them, it becomes 19. So you add 19 here, it's now 45, and that's much more resistant. But it has to happen. That said, though, attack smoke and defense smoke are perfect on him. Slick Fighter is interesting. If unit's HP is over 25%, fully shades combat, neutralizes penalties on unit during combat, and makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. I guess if you're worried about getting debuffed yourself. Oh, that's interesting.
And that also makes it so that he can't have anything amplified by the other Plegian weapons. That's an enemy phase.
That's an interesting thought. Because the reason for that is like that's so specific. But I get, yeah, I mean that's technically right, but
I mean, these weapons are absolutely insane. I've already had 2 replays for Aether Raids. Thankfully, my first one was a win. Second one was a complete loss because of Raphael with his Plegian Bow.
Already?
None of my units could do any damage to him at all.
Wow. We did talk about this during our review of the banner. We did say in Aether Raids, this is probably where all these heroes are going to meet their they're going to hit their stride, because again, with all the chill towers running up and all the debuffs flying around, that's where they're going to all shine. So I can see that. Okay. Anyways, I got nothing to add. I think Slick Fighter is pretty good, but is there a better fighter skill for him? I think the defense and attack smoke's pretty much necessary to get Plegian Bow to be guaranteed fully up.
Yeah. Close foil is a good option for him. It does provide a little bit more stats. If you want to be safer against the potential for dragons, then close counter is going to be better, but other than Duma, how many dragons do you really have to worry about in Astra season?
Yeah, like none. And even if it is Duma, it's not such a big deal. Alright, you did what we said. I was surprised that someone would actually do this. So, if you guys didn't know, I was just like, yeah, you know, Raphael's really cool, Plegian Bow's really cool, but it needs him to be solo, and he's armored, and he can't move very well. The ability to stay solo, you know what, this is gonna be really awkward. How about you kill, what's that guy get named? Yeah, Felix, kill Felix for him, Reindeer Bow. Is literally what I said during our analysis of the heroes. And then I can't believe someone did that. I would figure most people would keep Plegian Bow because it's a new hot weapon, but it's nice to see someone actually took that advice. The reason is simple. Reindeer Bow. Attack, defense +5. So instead of dropping your opponent's attack and defense by 5, you increase yours by 5. So essentially it's the same thing. Of course, if you have debuffs on your opponent, the sky's the limit. You get so much more from Plegian Bow. But you gotta be alone, and that kind of sucks. For armor heroes, you're kind of stuck and jammed together with other heroes to hit their maximum ability. So I like the bow. It's just for armor, it's really rough. If you put it on like Norn, for example, you'd be really happy with Plegian Bow. But on Raphael, it's just tons of issues, essentially. Additionally, it gives you guard. Guard's nice. But having bold fighter, QR, close foil, attack. Man, this is an old school build. I like that. All right, ideally you get plus attack because it's super boon. There's no extra boons or banes for res, defense or res. This is a bane on speed, I guess, but ideally you get plus attack. But yeah, outside of that, he's a venerable, he's a legitimate armored hero, even though he's not using armor. Close foil +5, Reindeer Bow +5, 56 defense. If the attack smoke drops, 63 defense. Physical heroes just bounce off his pecs and his rippling muscles. This, I don't even know how you look like this. I think he's on steroids. Other than that, when the bonfire triggers, he'll make his opponents explode. Bold fighter, close foil bonfire is pretty dangerous. Even if you have no extra stats, like no Reindeer Bow, no close foil, that's still a 23 damage bonfire on top of 56 times 2. Yeah, most things die. If he has his ally support, even better, because that's 5 and 5, 56 defense, so that is 28 damage bonfires. Make things explode. But yeah, really, really good. You did Bullfighter, which is what we suggested. Close foil is really, really good on him. It's not necessary on him, of course, but it's better if you run close foil on him. Makes him better on both phases. And yeah, so long as you give him the buffs, and as long as they're not anti-armor, he's probably going to kill them. So really good Raphael Sparrow. Also, if there's another seal you would recommend.
Lucky you on getting that attack boon.
Yeah, +1 too. Getting 2 of her is actually pretty hard. I've heard some people free pull it, but yeah. Damn. Chat, is there a hotter hero, or are there hotter heroes, because it's a dual hero, or a harmonic hero, in this game? I can't believe how small she is, Leanie. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, Lean is quite small, it seems. I mean, some would argue that Byleth and Rhea are close.
I suppose that's fair.
And then there's also Summer Lake Yarn, especially with the stupid jokes about being on the beach in the middle of summer or in the desert.
For me, I think it's harmonic Dorothea. Yeah.
The outfits are very provocative.
Yes. Jesus Christ, I just realized if Dorothea turns around too quickly, she would just slap Lean in the face with her massive boobs. Like, that's perfectly, like, she could knock her out if she turns quickly enough. It's like perfectly angled for a chin. The other one was plus speed. Oh, what the frig? You're so lucky. So you got a plus attack and plus speed, Dorothea. Wow. Do you want Swift Sparrow? I think you do. I would have taken plus speed personally, just to make sure she doesn't ever get doubled, right? Because plus speed means you can keep Swift Impact or Swift Sparrow and not worry about her like dying if she gets doubled. In this case, she is at risk because that's only 39 speed. If you had plus speed, it would be... Wait, does she have super boons on... No.
Her only super boon is attack.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
Her super banes are HP, defense, and res.
Fair enough. Getting the super boon and sticking with it is fine, but for defensive reasons, if you go Swift Sparrow, she could be in trouble. I think ideally it's attack speed push then. If you did that...
Juno, she comes with attack speed rain.
Yeah, she comes with attack speed rain and Swift Impact. The only thing he changed was her B slot skill, so...
No. B slot is typically Firestorm Dance.
Mm-hmm.
Desperation work. Just gotta target a mage first.
Mm-hmm. If you have her attacking a lot, then I do attack defense solo. That way you have enough defense to take a hit to get yourself into desperation. Because at 16 plus 39, even if Fel Candelabra is there to trigger for you, even if the attack speed rain is there to trigger for you, there's still a chance to kill you in one shot. So I would be careful a lot. So I take attack defense solo personally. And if you did that, attack speed push into desperation won't get you there really easily. But yeah, Glimmer's perfect. Yeah, that's what I would do. So
Leaf Hulk, as far as your question right there, I can't say I would recommend it because she's useful for 3 houses and genealogy for resonant battles.
Mm-hmm.
And additionally, with how exceptionally powerful the majority of units from those games tend to be here in Heroes, having a dancer that'll function with both in resonant battles is going to be very, very good.
Mm-hmm. All right, but yeah, just slight minute changes. Personally, attack defense solo because I don't think you need Glimmer. I think you do enough base damage to be fine. I do attack defense solo because that way with the attack speed rain at base you would have 26 defense, so you can definitely take a hit. And then if you're dead set on using her as offensively, then attack speed push, which gives you the speed to use defensively as well. So that's what I would do. Reindeer Bow. Wow.
Already.
You know what?
Why the attack refine?
Outside of that, I was going to say that. You know what? I like this because her defense and res is pretty shit. That's the reason why I didn't commit to Loki. Okay, Loki wants Plegian Bow or Spendthrift Bow. Or, what's his name? Felix's Bow. But it's, in my opinion, it's between Plegian and Spendthrift. I think Plegian has much more potential. So as long as you can set her up correctly, this is way better. Right? Attack, defense, she needs both of those stats. Her attack isn't great. It's okay. But her defenses are really crappy. So I would have done speed refine. 2 more speed is much more important than 1 more attack. And then you have, with attacks, no, use attack smoke. Attack smoke's more important. You're not worried about damage. You're worried about surviving. Especially if you're going to use desperation. Even if you're worried about damage, she does fine there, right? Because that's at minimum 5 and that's minimum 6. So you hit 65 times 2. That's, I think you're fine offensively. Dark Blessing. If it's Dark Blessing, definitely go for attack smoke because that's where she might struggle at. Attack smoke with speed refine. How do you even use her? I don't think this is a real Ether Raids hero because the problem running Loki is if she's isolated, she's really bad. She will just die. Your opponent can take her on pretty easily. And if she's within the ball, then the attack speed solo is not triggering. The Plegian Bow is not triggering. So I don't think it's a real Ether Raids hero. With that said, definitely go for attack smoke to give her the bulk. But if you don't, once you're set up into desperation, it doesn't really matter either way, I would say. I think I went over here earlier, but I wish I could do this. I could do spur and attack speed solo. That would be so cool. Plegian Axe, spur and attack speed solo would be awesome. This gives her more bulk. Defense and res essentially at all times 35 and 37. If you have attack smoke, you can stretch it even further, but since you're using spur and you're more concerned about damage, fair enough. You basically hit her one time, she attacks, and then she uses new time, heals back up. Spurn gets you extra damage. Fleeing Axe gives you a bit more damage. Attack speed solo gets a Spurn fully up. It's just a great build. I'm considering Plegian Axe on her as well. Vasquez!
I think I would recommend attack smoke over defense smoke, because with defense smoke, one of the issues you may run into is killing a little bit too quickly, which prevents you from getting popped.
Yeah. That's I don't know. It depends on positioning as well. You might not fight everyone at once, but I know where you're going with this. I have had battles where I kill my opponents too quickly as well, with Kranya for that matter. So, yeah. So it's up to you. Attack smoke or defense smoke, whichever one you think you need the most. But this is a really ideal combination for light seasons and ether raids in general. This is what I want to do in the future. Give her Spurn. I just need Spurn. But yes, the Plegian Axe thing is it's really tempting me because I can see the potential of Hannah with Plegian Axe. It could just be immense. Plegian Torch again. We went over this earlier in the day, so this will be very fast. Refine this for speed. Make sure you have smokes, which you do. Res and attack smoke, perfect. Lull attack speed is really good. Close foil is really good. Glimmer is really good. Earlier in the day, the Sylvain was paired up with Layla, and Layla was the one carrying the smokes, which allowed him to carry different C and different seal. So I believe we saw was rouse attack defense, which he came with, and attack defense solo. And I guess attack speed solo would work perfectly good as well. If you give him a partner to give him the debuffs, I think he would work way better. But if you don't want to, this would be perfectly fine. So it's up to you. But I definitely believe in Sylvain, because if he gets just simply attack smoke off, he gets to 50 defense. And at 50 defense, it's going to be really difficult for his opponents. And if he's attacked up close, another 5, another 3. So essentially 58 defense. So yeah, he's just he's a cav tank at that point. But you got to set it up. That's all you got to do. I also can't believe you don't have enough SP. How do you get a +10 and not have enough SP?